Good morning from the east side of the COHUTTA loop, lower loop. There is an upper loop that goes up Big Frog Mountain, which is the route that I took last time. But I knew that the RAV4 would have struggled really bad on that side. The road going up Big Frog from Jack's River is, last time I was there, it was pretty bad. Not somewhere a two-wheel drive should be. Anyways, got coffee fixed and the majority of camp broke down. It's 8:30. I've been up since about 6:30, just kind of tooling around, letting Thor sleep. He was super tired yesterday and was having ups and downs with his insulin and his sugar and stuff, so I'm just letting him sleep in. Got his phone charging this morning. When his gets done, I'll throw mine in. But we're pretty much ready to pack up and roll out of here. I'm going to sit down and make us some breakfast here in a minute. Some eggs, and I forgot to grab bacon or sausage yesterday, so all I've got is hamburger meat and steaks. The steaks are still frozen, so I guess it's eggs and hamburger meat for breakfast, which is perfectly fine. Once I get breakfast done and cleaned up from that, then Thor should be up by then. We will finish packing up and head out of here. Still got quite a bit of forest road riding before we drop out of the mountains. The route takes us right through downtown ELLIJay. When we get to downtown ELLIJay, we're about 15 miles or 20 minutes or so from where we live, and we may dip off in ELLIJay, and I got a prescription for Thor I need to pick up in Jasper, and we got some other obligations at home that we need to take care of. We may or we may not travel back up and get back on the traverse from where we leave off at today. We've got the entire week. Today's Tuesday. I have some parts coming in for my boat. He wants to get out on the boat this week, so if the rain holds out, we're gonna try to get out on the boat maybe 2 days. But I would like to come back and keep traveling east as far as we can go. Once we get on the other side of Helen, I know there's gonna be some places over there that we most definitely have to bypass. Chimney Mountain has been closed for several years. It's an indefinite no-go. And then Charlie's Creek is likely a no-go. Wolf Creek, I'm not sure about Wolf Creek. Last time I was down in Wolf Creek, I took the RAV4 and it was perfectly fine. But that's been probably 2018. So it's just one of those things where you got to ease off into it and see, which will be kind of nice because I can drop the bikes and stuff and not have to worry about that, because I don't think we're really going to have time to drop the bikes. I'll keep the poles, keep the fishing poles on there. We may try to fish once we get over around Cooper's Creek, but as far as everything else goes, it was a good day yesterday. We had a lot of fun, got to swim in the waterfall, and then gonna have a good breakfast this morning and ease on out of here.
All right, well, made a mistake this morning. I kind of knew I was making a mistake. This RAV4 doesn't have an accessory mode, so you got to turn the key on to the on position if you want to have anything charging off the 12-volt outlet in the car. Thor's is a type 1 diabetic. He wears an Omnipod and a Dexcom, so his sugar is displayed on his phone through an app, and so it's critical we keep his phone charged. This morning when I got up, turned it on accessory mode, plugged his phone up, letting it charge up, came back like 10 minutes later, cranked the car, let it run for a minute, turned it off, started cooking breakfast. About 25 minutes went by, I went to come crank the car and it was dead. Wasn't really sure what we were gonna do. Went ahead and ate lunch, kept on packing, and a couple cars passed, tried to flag them down, they wouldn't stop. Called my father-in-law, he was busy working. He said he would come if he had to, but we just happened to be standing up there at the end of the road, and a guy pulled up in an older Toyota Highlander, and he had a little jump box. He got out, hooked it up, and I mean immediately it fired up. So we're gonna leave this puppy running while we finish breaking down camp and taking our time, and once we get on the road and the alternator will get the battery charged back up. But one of the first places I'm gonna stop is somewhere to buy a jump box like what he had.
Okay.
One of the problems that we kept having yesterday was this thing bouncing around all over everywhere. Obviously it's not meant for forest road riding and stuff like that, but I'm gonna try to fix it enough that we can finish the trip without having to worry about the bikes flying all over everywhere like we were yesterday. So I'm gonna run a strap that got it a little bit tighter. You don't have to yet. One of the problems with my bike in the front, this is kind of a mullet. It's got a 27.5-inch front and a 26-inch rear. So the 27 don't really fit the front the way it should. It sits on the rack weird. It works. Again, usually you're not driving down bumpy forest service roads or off-road trails, so it's doing its job. Just want to tie some things down, try to help it out a little better. It's not 100% better, but it's going to work a lot better than what I had going on yesterday. We just about got camp cleaned up. Again, I had it cleaned up this morning, but then I brought everything back out to cook breakfast, and then everything happened with the car. So I'm gonna turn the AC on in the car, let it start cooling down in there some, and then we're gonna finish packing up some of this stuff, and we'll be ready to roll out of here in just a little bit. One last look around at the campsite. I do this every time. Make sure you've got all your stuff up, and if there's stuff left that you can clean up to make it better than what you found it, which we did. There was a bunch of trash here last night we got up, and then some of the stuff that was kind of around the fire pit we couldn't see until this morning. We cleaned up a little bit, so definitely left this one better than we found it, and we are going to get out of here and head for ELLIJAY. Got probably an hour and a half or 2 hours of traveling, I'd guess. I'm not exactly sure, but let's do this.
We go to the wilderness. Which way do we need to go?
We gotta go down the hill. Another super popular spot is this overlook we're at right here. You see this overlook in a lot of videos. You've seen it in one or two of my videos before, probably. I don't know if there's a name for it. I call it the Barnes Creek Overlook. It doesn't overlook Barnes Creek. Barnes Creek, we go around this curve, and the bottom of the hill, we'll be at Barnes Creek Waterfall. So it's just right above Barnes Creek Waterfall. I just call it Barnes Creek Overlook, but there's no designated name or anything like that for it. Seen a lot of good sunsets here. Seen a lot of good sunrises here. And then days like today, looks like the air quality is going to be pretty shitty. It's real hazy. So, anyways, we're gonna ease on down to the waterfall. Barnes Creek Fall. They got a parking area. No camping here.
True.
They got some picnic tables. I've made coffee and dinner here a few times on these tables. It's nice to have them. This is Barnes Creek Waterfall. There's some history to this waterfall in the area, like you can read about it on the kiosk back there. Long story short, there was a logging operation out here in the 30s and 40s, and there's a mine camp somewhere around here that was out here. They used this area for water to support the mining operation they were doing. I've also seen this thing raging. Right now it's pretty low, which is usually how it stays during the summer, but you come out here after a big rainstorm, it's raging pretty good. And it just drops away over the mountain.
Somebody left their shoes.
Yep. All right, we're not too far from pavement now. We got a little bit of more forest road to ride, and we'll be hitting pavement, making our way down into ELLIJAY.
Prince is gonna be in the photo.
Back on Blacktop. This is Gates Chapel Road. This will bring us back to Highway 52, which then we will take all the way down into ELLIJAY. If you're in this area, there's another road right here. Bear Creek is at the end of that. Some good camping out there. You can hike to the Gannett Poplar as well, mountain bike trails. And Gates Chapel's a beautiful drive. And we're gonna get on up to 52 and back to ELLIJAY. This is the square in ELLIJAY. Courthouse there in front of us. A little roundabout. This is where we're going to leave the Georgia Traverse. The Georgia Traverse goes over there on around 52 down to Roy Road. We're cutting here to head home. When we come back in a couple days, we will come back to this same location and start where we left off at. So I just wanted to kind of show where we were at. I think we are probably about exactly halfway. I think it's 150 miles. Actually, probably not 150 miles, probably more like 130, 135. We really didn't travel that far from the campsite to ELLIJAY. So, didn't even make it quite halfway on the Traverse, and we were able to do everything in these 2 days that we were out on the trail. I know that past here things get a little more sketchy and we'll probably have to detour around 1 or 2 roads, but if we get back on the trail, we'll deal with that when we do. Can't guarantee that we'll be back this week, but maybe some point in the near future we will. We got some other plans. Gonna take the boat out and stuff like that this upcoming week, so stay tuned for those videos. Catch you on the next one.